Doesn't quite work. It doesn't quite work. It does? It's
Okay.
We're gonna start class.
Hello, everybody. This is Young Family Tai Chi, Traditional Form, Section 1. And our new move today is going to be rollback. Excuse me. During this month, the school was going to do emphasis on each month a different 10 essential. And this month's was supposed to be the first one, which is empty, lively, pushing up, and energetic, which makes about as much sense in Chinese as it does in English. The gist of it is you're supposed to raise your head and raise your spirit. So I put in the chat box a link to the 10 essentials. So if you want to go to that site, you can take a look. Okay?
Great.
So think about putting your head up. And this is actually one of the most important of the essentials because it not only talks about the physical aspect, but it also talks about raising your spirit. So there's like a mind-body connection there that is important. So what I'd like to do is review. I'm going to turn around and, excuse me, go through the parts we've done thus far. Okay?
Sure.
So, feet shoulder width apart, hands by your side, head up. Think about elongating your spine and sink your tailbone down. Prepare. Opening. Rotate your arms and come up to shoulder level. Then sink down almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left. Shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right, step and close, shift weight and separate. Ward off left, ward off right, shift right, turn the left toe to the corner, pull left, ward off down right, pull in the right foot, step and close, shift weight and separate. Okay. Any questions on that?
Nope.
So ward off is one of there are 8 energies, and there are what you might think of as the 4, Chinese would say the 4 straight energies and the 4 diagonal energies. And the importance of grasp the bird's tail is that it has all 4 of the straight energies. So ward off left, ward off right are both examples of ward off. But the next move is going to be rollback. The thing that I want you to remember about doing ward off, the 2 ward offs, is the things that they have in common are when you turn, you separate your arms. When you have all the weight on one side, you're going to have one hand up and one hand down in the left variant. In the right variant, you're going to have a pull on the left and a ward off down on the right. But when you look at it, it still looks like one up and one down. Do you see what I'm saying? So you have to have that shape when all the weight goes on one foot. In the right, you pull in the right before you step in close. And the reason is you have a greater distance between your feet. And when I say pull in the right, I don't mean go like this. Okay? What I really mean is as your weight goes on the right, you're stabilizing on the right and you're basically pulling through. Okay? It does come up a little because you're getting your axis straight and then you're coming out again. Okay? Think of it that way. Then in terms of how the energy works, ward off is defining space. Okay? The ward off form that we show is actually ward off combined with a pull. So you have a ward off, but a pull also. It is not just a ward off. There's a pull with it. So on the left ward off, when you're here, so, sorry, I am recovering from COVID, so
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
you have to excuse me. So when you're pulling, think about pulling across your for either side, whether you're straight or from the side. Okay. Okay. Now, once you get to right ward off, the rest of Grasp the Sparrow's tail doesn't have any more footwork. So when you started almost from the bottom and you did left ward off, you have a left bow stance. Then when you turn and you did right ward off, you have a right bow stance. Once you make that right bow stance, the rest of the grass sparrow's tail stays in that footwork. Now, that does not mean you don't move anymore. In rollback, you have a lot of waist movement. So the way energy works in Taiji is it originates in your feet, comes through your leg, and is directed by your waist, and then comes out your hand. So when you have your right bow stance, in terms of what happens with rollback is it's all waist movement. What you're going to do is you're going to turn the top half of your body. It'll feel like your shoulders are moving to that corner. And then as your weight shifts back, your shoulders are going to move to that corner. So it's one of the things that's difficult about this move, if I do it toward you, is this. When I have a bow stance, my hips are oriented in the direction of my back foot. When I do this move, what happens is I'm going to come forward toward that corner. It's going to feel like I'm going toward that corner with the top half of my body, but my hips are still going the other way. So you have to think about how flexible your waist is in order to keep your hips oriented correctly. And the reason it's important is that if you don't orient your hips correctly, you will twist your knee, which you don't want to do. Okay? So think about keeping your hips oriented the direction of the back foot. Then what's going to happen is your waist is going to turn from that corner to that corner. Okay? I'm going to show you how the hands work, and then putting it together will make more sense. So, what are your hands doing? Your hands are here. Okay, you have this round ward-off shape with the right, and then below it, you have your left hand. What you're going to do is you're going to rotate the forearms of both hands. So you're going to rotate them. So essentially, as you're moving to the corner, you're going to end up with the right palm facing out and the left palm up, pointing at the right forearm center. So it's going to be a gradual movement. Rotate, 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 rotate. All the way to the end. Okay. So what's happening here? Your weight is shifting toward your front leg as you rotate, rotate, rotate all the way to the corner. Then when you get there, you're going to make a little circle and come back the other way to the other corner. And how do you get to the other corner? You're shifting your weight back. Okay, so it's a waist turn and a weight shift back. So in the direction you would be doing it, it would look like this. You would be here, and then you have 60 in front and 40 in the back, right? You're going to turn, 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 till you get there, and then make a little, basically U-turn, and come back to that corner. So it's going to be a 90-degree, essentially coming back.
So quick question about this.
Yeah.
So I think I'm having difficulty a little bit determining, this has happened to me before where like, I don't really know how to feel so the feeling of twisting to this corner and then twisting to this corner is not a feeling of all the way twisting to the right and all the way twisting to the left. It's
No.
limited, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't.
Part of it is your weight shift.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you're 60 in the front and 40 in the back when you're starting.
Yes.
And you're turning. And you're making a little U-turn. As you come back, you are pushing back with the front foot and receiving with the back foot. So at the end, you're going to end up 70-30. 70 in the back and 30 in the front. So this is like a bow stand, an empty stance weight distribution with your feet in a bow stance.
And your hips, I forget, last week you taught us the name for this part of the body, but your hips are
Your
open?
quad,
Quad.
yes,
So your quad is open and your hips are sort of facing the left,
yes.
back leg is?
They're facing the direction of the back foot.
Yeah. Okay, this is a lot.
Now, one of the great temptations is, let me show you. Here, I'm 60-40. I'm turning. As I shift my weight back and basically turn toward the other corner, the great temptation is to shift your weight forward. So if I do this so that my front foot is pretty much directly facing the camera, let's say, okay. When I'm here, I'm here. As I come here, I'm actually leaning toward my front foot. Can you see that? It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I am leaning toward my front foot as opposed to leaning toward this empty space where I have no support. Okay. So I want to lean toward where I have support. So even though my hand is in that direction, my body is actually leaning toward the front foot.
Even the, okay. I see, yeah. So, but not here, you're saying?
But not forward.
Yeah.
I'm leaning toward the front foot very slightly.
Got it.
So when they talk about dung and zheng, cushion support. So as the weight goes toward the back, there's still support in the front leg, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have 70% in the back, but I still have that 30% in the front that's supporting me in that dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what gives me my stability.
I see. But the quad always, no matter whether waist is twisting right or left, quad is always open here.
It's your waist that's twisted. You're essentially, you have this feeling.
Yes.
Kind of an exaggerated example of that. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
So everything is circular, but it's a little different from any of the others.
Yes.
And the other way it's different is in most of the other things, your energy is going forward in the direction of the front foot. Like if you're striking, you're in the direction of the front foot, right? But here, what happens is that you're actually moving 90 degrees from the front foot. You see what I'm saying? It's a back, it's a turning back.
Yeah.
The application of this is that if someone is striking toward you, what you do with this movement is you're essentially, it's hard to show you this. Essentially, what happens is you have the other person's elbow up, and you're pulling across.
Okay, so do it slowly, not too hard. Do it slowly. Okay, so then.
It's your elbow would be up. Your elbow would be up, and you're using the middle of your forearm to go across, and you're going to move across. So the the left hand is holding the wrist, and the right hand is essentially going between the forearm and the upper arm. So the elbow is up.
Can you flip
And
that?
that has total control of that arm so that you can pull the other person across.
Can you flip them or do they just pull?
It's just a pull.
Okay, all right.
It's just a pull. Because what it is a defense against a punch. So essentially, when someone is punching toward you, you essentially follow the punch by pulling on the wrist and coming up and turning.
Got it.
So what happens is the reason why I say it's Tai Chi is based on connecting and following. So when someone punches toward you and you catch them and you're coming like this, they are going forward. And what you're going to do is you're going to allow them to continue going forward. So you're basically using their forward energy against them.
Mm-hmm.
And it will feel very natural to them because they wanted to go forward anyway. So
you're using their energy, the momentum of their energy.
You're using their momentum.
Uh-huh.
And all you're doing is redirecting. You don't go against. You just connect and redirect.
Wow. So
and
you don't ever go against in this style? You don't ever go against?
What happens is you do go against in a very circular way.
Uh-huh.
So in push hands, what often happens is someone's pushing against you. And what you do is you deflect. But your absorption of their energy is essentially your wind up for your strike. So if someone's striking toward you and you connect and you deflect, you can use that as a wind up to strike them.
Oh.
And
Okay.
that's how the circular movement works.
Oh, interesting. So, but what about when you kick someone? Is it the same principle? You kicking?
Kicking is different because kicking usually has circular movements in arms, but not really in the legs, except like a lotus kick or something like that.
Yeah.
And kicking is also different because you don't have the stung and chung principle going for you because you're on one leg.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So even in an empty stance, if you have 70 in the back and 30 in the front, you still have 30 in the front.
Mm-hmm.
That's pushing against the 70 in the back.
Right.
So it's supporting. But when you're kicking, it's like the ultimate empty stance, right? There's nothing, right?
Right. Oh, I see. Yeah.
So in that sense, it's different.
Got it. Thank you.
So rollback is the first time where you get the notion of not so much the first time you use your waist, but the first time where you have energy going at a different angle from your footwork. So yes, you're coming back, but it's also going in that direction in addition to coming back. You see what I'm saying? It's not just coming back.
Yes.
So the difficulty for this is timing. So when you're here You're rotating your arms and you're timing it so that your hands are in the correct position when you get to the corner. Then you're going to circle them. And as your weight shifts back, you're going to end up at the other corner. Okay, so the timing is you want your hands and feet to end up at the same time. And there's a great temptation to stop in the middle. Okay,
Yes.
this is one continuous movement. So you're here and you keep moving and you're making the circle and coming back, and you don't stop to the end, which is here. So the temptation is to stop here. Don't stop here.
To keep going fluid, like a
You
fluid.
have to keep going through it. You're making this little circle and turning around. So if you think in terms of the principle of storing energy and releasing energy, if you think about this as a kind of storage and this as a kind of release, if you break it up by stopping,
Right.
then you lose your energy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you want to take advantage of the storage you have and keep moving. Okay.
Yes.
So let's do this a few more times. I'll do it in the same direction as you. And then, or maybe I'll do it in another direction so you could see better. So we're here. Right bow stance, right ward off, then roll back, turn, circle, come back, and end. Everything at the same time. Okay, one more time. Right ward off, rotate, 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 circle, end. Okay, so what happens is that when you're here, you your right hand is pretty much at the corner, and your left hand is up facing the right forearm. What you should be careful of is that your knee has to line up with your toe. Okay. Make sure when you're coming back, you don't kind of torque your knee one way or the other.
Oh, the back left foot.
Both.
Oh.
Both. So here, when you're coming back, you're going to come back, and this one's easy. But this one, you have to make sure that you are essentially sitting. So your knee doesn't extend beyond your toe, but the mass of your trunk is between your feet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make sure that when you're here, you are not either too back, right? You want to make sure that your trunk is always between your feet.
Mm-hmm.
There are other times in the form where you have the footwork of a bow stance and the weight distribution of the empty stance. But this is the first time this appears.
Can you do it facing us? Can you do the sequence facing us so I can see how it looks from the front?
Okay, so facing you, I'm going to go from the beginning. So
Yes.
from almost to the bottom.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. I can see what I need to work on by watching you do it. Yeah. Thank you.
Let me do it from the direction that you would be doing it.
Okay.
So here, we're starting here. Let's start from almost at the bottom. Okay. This is left ward off. Right ward off. Roll back.
And when you're in that very last position before it draws in again, you're still hands are still in the same place. They haven't moved yet, correct?
Your hands are in the same place. So basically, once I've done all this turning, my hands, once I get to this position, they stay there. It's just my waist moving.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
My hands don't move relative to my torso.
Yes.
It's just my torso that's moving.
Yes. Yeah, wow. It's a lot more complicated than I thought it was. All the coordination of like weight distribution and waist and hips and everything.
It's all weight distribution.
Yeah, yeah.
And Grasshopper bird's tail is the signature move of the Yang family form.
Oh.
So, excuse me. So they want you to make sure that you get all your energy straight because you're going to reuse this throughout the whole form.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So let me do it once more in your direction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're here almost at the bottom. Left ward off. Shift left. Turn right. All the weight on the right. Step and close. Shift and separate. Right ward off. Shift right. Turn the left toe to the corner. Pull left ward off down right. Pull in. Step and close. Separate and shift weight. Roll back. Rotate your arms. Turn toward the corner. Circle back. And turn to the other corner.
Yeah, it's funny. I think before I was doing way too big of a movement. I see how precise and contained you are. I understand much better now, I think.
Well, I want you to think about keeping your torso between your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
if you extend your weight too far one way or the other, you lose your balance.
Uh-huh.
And it's very important for Taiji to keep your balance.
Yes.
One of the basic Taoist principles is do not extend so far you cannot return. So that gives you the sense that, if I'm going forward, I'm not going here where I have to push back in order to get back.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like when I'm doing my bow stance. How long is my stride for the bow stance? It's depending on how low I'm standing. If I'm low, I can stand longer. If I am high, I can only reach that far. So it's your plant leg that determines your stride.
Yes. Yes.
And that's also why your body can't stay centered between your feet if your stride is too long.
Yes.
Okay? So you have to be it. It's funny, people like Tai Chi because it looks so pretty in the park, but it actually requires a lot more leg strength than you think.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm learning that as we go through this process. I was one of those park people. I was like, oh, so nice. Now I understand it's hardcore.
Okay, so let's do this a few times from the very beginning. Okay, so feet shoulder width apart, head up, straight, stretch out your spine and lower your tailbone. So this is prepared. Opening, rotate your arms, come up to shoulder level and press down almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left, shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right, step and close, shift and separate. Ward off right, shift right, turn the left toe toward the corner, pull left, ward off, down right, pull the right foot, step and close, shift weight and separate. Roll back, turn to the corner, make a U-turn, come back to the other corner. As your weight shifts back, you should be 70% in the back and 30% in the front.
Oh, it's hard. It's that thing of keeping the torso like it's between the legs. It's hard.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
I get it. Yeah.
But once you get it, though, you'll find that it really helps for your balance.
I no, that I understood. I understand now why it matters so much.
Okay, so let's do that a couple more times before we close class. All right. So prepare, stretch out your spine, opening, rotate your arms, come up to shoulder level, press down, almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left, shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right, step and close, shift and separate. Ward off right, shift right, turn the left toe to the corner, pull left, ward off down right, pull in the right foot, step and close, shift weight and separate. Roll back, rotate your forearms to the corner, make a U-turn, come back as you shift weight to the other corner.
It is really hard. I'm like, it's really hard. I'm conscious of the quad now in ways. It is hard to like keep that
Yes, yes, it's because you don't usually use those muscles.
Yeah.
Because if you're here, there's no way you can you can't keep your knees lined up with your feet if you don't open the quad.
Right. That's what I'm learning.
Which is why people cheat.
Right. I think I was cheating before.
Don't cheat.
No cheating.
Don't cheat because your knees will get you.
Yes. Got it.
Okay. So a couple more times and we'll close class.
Okay.
Okay. Prepare. Stretch out your spine. Keep your head up. Opening. Rotate your arms up to shoulder level. Press down almost to the bottom. Press the bird's tail, ward off left. Shift left, turn right. All the weight on the right. Step and close. shift and separate. Ward off right, shift right, turn the left toe to the corner, pull left, ward off down right, pull the right foot, step and close, shift and separate. Roll back. Rotate your forearms and turn your waist toward the corner. Make a U-turn, shift your weight back as you get to the other. Okay?
Yes.
One last time before
Yes.
the end of class.
Yes.
All right. Head up, stretch out your spine. Prepare. Excuse me. Opening. Rotate your arms. Come up to shoulder roll. Press down, almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail. Ward off left. Shift left. Turn right. All the weight on the right. Step and close. Separate and shift weight. Ward off right. Shift right. Turn. Pull with the left. Ward off down with the right. Pull in. Step and close. Shift weight, separate. Roll back. Rotate your forearms as you turn toward the corner. Make a U-turn. Come back to the other corner. Okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Practice, practice.
Yes. That was very helpful. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. So I look forward to seeing you next week.
Hope you feel better soon.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, have some good rest.
Okay.
Take
Thank
care.
you very much for coming to class.
Thanks. Thanks so much, Rita. Thank you for everything.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.